Hey guys, I want to take 5 minutes to tell you about the design of the shared language chapter inside of business model generation. All right, so first, what are we talking about here in terms of the entire book? Here's the structure of the whole book. If we sort of zoom in, this is what we're talking about. How can we best describe business models? And we're talking about these 9 business blocks here and how they fit together into something we call the business model canvas and how you can use that. Not as much about how you can use it, but just sort of introducing the concept really. So if we look at it before it's designed, even though it is actually pretty well designed by our author Alex, he's better than most, I gotta say. So he sort of opens it up with this spread and then a description. We've got some more details here. We get into, here's what the 9 building blocks are, introduce each one of them before you show how they fit together. And then we begin to talk about each one. Very important here is that we talk about some key questions, give examples, and build it up. So you can see throughout this chapter, it sort of builds up piece by piece for each page. So we know that we've been working with two styles, overwhelmingly one, the sort of challenge between the 3 different mood boards. One was the drawing board, which got a lot of votes, and second was the contemporary conservative clarity, which also got a lot of votes and helped us realize what the book was all about. The second half of the book is really all about the drawing board. All this stuff down here is pretty much drawing board stuff. The common language, this is more about describing something in a very clear way. And the same with these business model patterns. This is sort of the textbook, if you will. This is the Bible, and this is down here this is the workspace. This is where you get messy, and this is where it actually happens. So for this section, we used a look that was a little bit more like this. So the first challenge was working to actually describe that that image, the actual business model. So we went to JAM to ask them for some help. JAM is a visual thinking company in the Netherlands. If you look at the way the book looks, we got the opener, the definition, the canvas, the blocks, and then one page for each one of the building blocks. Actually, it's about one spread for each block. We gave them some ideas in terms of, if it was a little bit sketchy, that would work. We don't want it to look too cartoony. It needs to feel authoritative, as if it was drawn by an architect or something like that would feel right. If the elements are sort of exploded out, if there's a little bit of texture on it, that would be great. Just some subtle art direction cues. And we need it to build up over the pieces, and then gave them some sort of specific notes on each one of those. They did a great job of working with that, and before I show you the actual finished design, I wanted to show you, some of their early thinking, so you can actually see them trying to visualize that business model canvas that we've all sort of come to know and love. So you can see they've got this idea of the company in the middle, and our customer relationships, our distribution channels, revenue streams coming in there, our partners. They were adding the idea of a brand, and how does money sort of connect to all of this. So what we ended up with was something like this. So here's the first spread where we actually start to show off a little bit of that drawing to give you a taste of what this whole section is about. The spread really breaks the rhythm of the book and gives you a sort of moment to just stop. Define what the business model is, introduce each one of the pieces, show you how it works as a whole, and then start to explain it to you a little bit more. So, what really is a customer segment? And you can see that we've made the questions really big. If this was a cookbook, these would be the ingredients. When you read this, who are our most important customers? For whom are we creating value? This immediately helps you understand what a customer segment is. Having these details in terms of different types of customer segments, mass market, niche market, segmented, these are the details. This is the description of how to actually make it, and over here would be the description of sort of what are you going to get when this is done, in a way. And then we build it up piece by piece, so you can get this view that all these pieces are really well connected. Without one of these things, the puzzle doesn't really fit together. And this is a really important message. The business model canvas is a holistic look at business modeling. And you can't just have these pieces. All of them have to plug in, and they plug in different ways, which is why JAM has done such a great job with this diagram. Then we've got a bunch of pictures from the hub and from different events. Probably some people from the Business Model Hub are in these images, because this section shows how this diagram, when you overlay it with this basic structure, becomes a powerful tool. And it's in use, the world around right now. We've got plenty of examples of people telling stories, people having discussions, people iterating and coming up with their own ideas on business models and sketchbooks and on whiteboards, and using them in presentations as well. So we give you one quick example and then give you a business model canvas to photocopy or tear out, or just for reference on its own. And then some Post-its to remind you to get going on it. So that's it for this chunk. And just to give you a reminder of where the style sort of fits in on this, let's see here. Very clean to begin with, and we're going to be starting to get a little bit more dirty as we go into the book. So just from a style perspective, as you're critiquing the design and thinking about the way that it looks and the way that it's described, keep that in mind. Thanks.